Let's talk Juan Soto, where today a report surfaced reportedly laying out Juan Soto's rumored contract demands this offseason. So if these are true, the question is, how does this affect the Dodgers? But the report from Ryan Spader on Twitter tweeted about another report from a fella named Marino Pepin, who is apparently like a broadcaster analyst. At this time of year, you got to be really careful with some of these rumors. So we'll take this. I'll put the grain of salt meter up here. But Mario Pepin doing Red Sox, commentary, I guess we'll say. He's the one who tweeted about it. It was in Spanish. Ryan Spader Englishified it for us, saying that Soto's camp is looking for 12 to 14 years at $44 million per year with opt-outs. Here's the big one. Opt-outs after the third and fourth seasons. Now, a lot of Dodgers fans on Twitter saw the opt-outs after 3 and 4, saw the money, and started salivating a good little bit, because if we're talking Juan Soto for 3 or 4 seasons at a high dollar rate, all of a sudden, your boy is all the way in on Juan Soto. Thanks for stopping by, Teoscar Hernandez. But what do you think of this whole thing? Do you buy into this, grain of salt report about, 12 to 14? What is it? If it's 14 at 45, that's like $630 million. Is Juan Soto a $630 million player?
No, I don't think so. He's amazing. He's arguably the best pure hitter baseball has. He's 26 years old, but he's also projected out to be a DH at a point. So you're going to get some lean years at the end of that contract where you're still paying him $45 million to, basically be Albert Pujols. Like I'm not saying he might not age that poorly, but that's kind of what you're looking at. So I think a lot of people saw the Pujols contract and knew from the jump it wasn't great. I know it's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but that's kind of the career trajectory Soto's going to have. Eventually he's going to move from the outfield to the infield and then eventually just be a DH. If it's true, I'm all in just like you. I have my doubts. This kind of screams like they're saying this so the Dodgers are like more interested, or it looks like the Dodgers are a more realistic possibility.
That's interesting.
Because we know the Dodgers like short, high AAV contracts. So if you leak this and all of a sudden, oh man, the Dodgers are a real possibility, maybe Uncle Stevie goes, oh, well, let's just not even let that be an option. Let's not even, I know they already met with him, but let's not even let it get to that point. And here's just an obscene deal because now we like definitely have to outbid the Dodgers. So that's where my mind kind of always goes. But if they wanted to front load a contract, if they wanted to give him 12 years, at a $45 million AAV, but have it like be $55 or $60 million a year at the front,
super front loaded.
That like I'm all in on that, like all day. Like, sure, go for it. Not my money. Who cares? But I don't really know if that's what he wants to do because, they talk about him being able to go back into free agency at the age of 30. Again, when he re-enters free agency at the age of 30, he might just be a first baseman or he might only be a DH at that point. And that could theoretically hurt his market. So I really don't know how much I believe this report, but if it's true, yeah, go get him.
Yeah, I like the angle there of we knew the Dodgers in this offseason, they were going to be used. They have all this money. They're making a bunch of money when it comes to like advertising and whatever they make with Ohtani and Yamamoto in the fold. They can afford Juan Soto, no problem. But again, the problems and the longevity, how long that contract is what makes it a bit more frightening to consider committing to. If you're able to get the next few prime years of Juan Soto, almost like I was going to make the stupid a lazy like Adrian Beltre comparison where he got the 4 or 5 year deal with Seattle and then went on to, still go do great things. Of course, he was a premium defender as well. At third base. But hepatitis see you later in the chat says, we need Soto badly. I mean, Soto absolutely changes the complexion of this lineup, a lineup that was already one of the best offensive units last year, does not have Teoscar Hernandez in the mix right now. It can eventually get him back if they don't, if Soto isn't the route. It will be good again either way, because I think one of those guys comes back. I think Teoscar is probably in the mix, but the Dodgers being pawns in this to try to either get the Red Sox to pony up more dough, and with this initial report coming from a Red Sox source,
I would love if you said.
And then also the Mets trying to get the most out of Mets and Steve Cohen, because I still fully agree. I still fully believe with my soul that Steve Cohen won't be outbid, and if it takes like a 6-year deal worth $60 million a year or whatever with opt-outs after year 3 and 4, I think he still could potentially go that route and be okay with it. But at the end of the day, it's still difficult for me to see the Dodgers landing him just because of the Steve Cohen factor. It is a lot of money. It's a lot of commitment. But if it is an opt-out after 3 or 4 years, it helps. That definitely helps.
Yeah,
However,
absolutely.
But what happens if he's hurt or he breaks down or he becomes even more unplayable in the outfield, even though some people will say he was better than Teoscar Hernandez. He wasn't better where it counts in here, wherever your human hearts are at.
He's also playing in the tiny-ass right field at Yankee Stadium.
He's also playing. That's a really good
point. They put him in right field at Yankee Stadium because his defense was that bad. And he still let balls get over his head. So just everybody understand, if he plays for the Dodgers in left field, which is huge comparatively,
it will not be
get ready for that.
It will not be a very pretty sight for Dodgers fans. But the bat helps. Quickly, I'm going to tell you about Bet Online. It's the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to live in-game betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch games and play along with games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds from everything to football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC, MMA, BetOnline has it all. Head to BetOnline today. Get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. Hepatitis see you later saying also, if you guys are fine with Taylor Outman Pages for 2025. Yeah, so what they have, much like we're talking about starting pitching a little bit ago, what they have on roster for the outfield right now, with Mookie moving into the infield, it's not a good situation. And they're not going to, go to opening day with Dalton Rushing on the roster. We know very little about Dalton Rushing as a major league player. So even to say oh man, if we feel really good with, Rushing, Taylor, Outman, and Pages or whatever the hell it is as the core four out there, that's still, there's a lot of bit to be desired there. So you need to bring back Teoscar, or you need to be in on Juan Soto. I still, again, at this kind of price, and I fully agree with the idea that it's not my money, but at this kind of price, this kind of more so the years of commitment, if you're able to get Juan Soto at that deal, you got to go in. You got to go to do it. You got to go to that price because he helps you. You get Juan Soto and a pitcher this offseason. I don't care what you say. In the minimum 3 years that Juan Soto would be a Dodgers. The Dodgers are winning 2 of those World Series. That's a fact. Put your money on it. Go to Bet Online. Put your money.
Yeah, BC saying he's not generational. I go look at his BREF page. Go look at his StatCast page. It's red all over the place. That dude, he was raking in the World Series. He just didn't have any help from anybody else. It's just anybody who's saying, I think part of it is we haven't watched him every single day, but go look at his pages. Go watch them. He is incredible. He's an incredible player. Now, somebody pointed out, imagine winning the World Series and saying we need him. I don't think the Dodgers need Juan Soto. I think he'd be an absolute luxury. However,
that's fair.
I'm all for it because it increases their chances of going back to back. So yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, you need one of them. You need an outfielder. You need either him or Teoscar. I like Teoscar because he's a righty and he's
somebody.
Oh,
potentially being